Dumpster Divas, welcome back to another episode here on the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure to check out Dumpster Dive Pod on youtube.com. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, Apple does not have the video, so check out Spotify or YouTube if you would like a video component to what you're about to hear. I'm going to be pointing a lot to the screen, okay? Because today is another episode of where I'm going to just rank shit. Gay people, we love to pit women against each other. And I'm at it again. with love. I am today ranking the seasons of The Real Housewives of New York. Last time I ranked all the seasons of Salt Lake City. A lot of you told me I had worms for brains based on my rankings. Please do it again. All engagement is good engagement. Ding, ding. But yes, today we're going to rank this one. I could see myself getting in some sort of trouble for because it is one of the most beloved franchises, I believe, in reality television, period. And that is The Real Housewives of New York. So we have 15 seasons, I believe. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, 15 seasons. Season 16 is still nowhere to be found. 15 seasons. And I'm going to rank them from top to bottom. Now, I want to give some feedback on the last episode I did of this ranking and then what we're going to do this time. So the TikTok and YouTube kids who are ranking things have this ranking system. If you are just listening to it, go check out the YouTube channel just to kind of visualize it. Where there's an S level, that's the God tier level. There's an A level, B, C, D, E, and as far as they want to go down. So for us today, we have 5 levels, okay? We have our God tier level, our S level, and then our A, B, C, D. I have renamed them, and I think I would like to kind of move forward with this naming for all Housewives rankings. Our S tier, so our top tier, the tier that is the ultimate of all ultimates, the best that we have, okay? That tier is called I'm Shaking, I'm Physically Shaking. So that's the best. That is the best we have. And that is, of course, quoting one Lisa Barlow, my arch nemesis, Lisa Barlow. More lore on that if you listen to the podcast. Underneath that, our A level is wow, Bethany, wow. So that's almost God tier, maybe some stumbles here and there, but a solid A+ of a season. Underneath that is, okay, whatever that means. That means it's like fine. It's like not bad. It's quite good, but there are some bumps. Underneath that, our C level is not a white refrigerator. Another Nene Leakes moment. This is a season that you watched. You probably don't revisit, and you definitely don't have a lot of fond memories of. But when watching it, it wasn't terrible. It just isn't that memorable. And at the bottom of it, we have this is a new favorite line. Now, this is niche. This came from BravoCon this year from one Stacey Rush. And so the last tier, the E tier, this season is garbage tier, is they're booing you, boo.
They are booing you. They're booing you, boo. They're booing you. Listen to the people.
So once again, our top tier is I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking.
Is something bigger happening? Should I be stressed? I'm physically shaking.
Underneath that, we have wow, Bethany, wow.
You say you support women, obviously you don't. Wow, Bethany. I don't know.
Can I get some more ice water with lemon, please? Thank you.
Underneath that, we have, okay, whatever that means.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Underneath that, we have not a white refrigerator.
I was in tears almost. And it has a white refrigerator. I was like, oh, not a white refrigerator. Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey. Ooh.
Underneath that, we have they're booing you, boo.
They are booing you. They're booing you, boo. They're booing you. Listen to the people.
So, I am going to rank every season of The Real Houses of New York, starting from the very top on season 1. Once again, before we get into it, if you want a video version of this, check out the YouTube channel or on Spotify. Audio can be found on all of the places that I just listed. And I am happy to post this ranking after the episode has been up, so you have a guide a little bit. So season 1 of Real Houses of New York. Now New York for me is probably in the top 3 favorite reality TV franchises, period. In similar fashion to our favorite shows like America's Next Top Model, Flavor of Love, there are moments within it that will just forever live in the pantheon. And so even though they got bad, we can't deny their legacy. And so it all started with season 1. Now, season 1, we just had 5 women. We had Ramona, Luann, Bethany, Jill, and Alex. And, the lore says that it was supposed to be called Upper East Side Moms. OC had already premiered, but it wasn't supposed to be in the same franchise as the Orange County women. And they didn't know totally what they were going to be, and they just brought it. I think the season itself it's aged a bit, but there still are some great moments in it, specifically the reunion. This reunion, I believe, is kind of the reunion that set the precedent for what we now understand as a Real Housewives reunion. Orange County had reunions, but they were just in Vicky's backyard. Google it. That happened. So for the first season of Real Houses of New York, I gonna give it an okay, whatever that means. So once again, that's a B. Average. It's a good season. There are some moments, but it's doesn't stand the test of time in terms of content, but we can't put it any lower than that because they are the legacy of a lot of the way housewife to this day. So once again, there'll be also, if you're watching the video of it, obviously you're seeing things here, the ranking system. So once again, check out the video version of this. Up next, we have season 2, Real Houses of New York season 2. Now, Real Houses of New York season 2 brought us the entry of one of the more manic characters we've ever had on the Housewives pantheon, and that is Kelly Ben Simone. Now, this season obviously has Kelly running through the streets. We also have Kelly and Bethany fighting at Brass Monkey, which still to this day, if you're a New Yorker and you're like, if you're a New Yorker who knows what Brass Monkey is, it's so bizarre to me that they've filmed at Brass Monkey. Brass Monkey is a 21 to 25-year-olds hookup bar, straight people hookup bar. I don't know how, it must have been a clearance thing for filming, but I don't know how they got those two, convinced them to go to Brass Monkey and Meatpacking. Maybe it was different then, but that's a mystery that will still always baffle me, where they sat in that booth, Also, this is the beginning, I believe this is the season where we get the beginnings of a Skinny Girl Margarita. And the Kodak party, do you remember that? The fight with Kodak, literally Kodak, RIP. I don't know if Kodak even exists anymore, but with Jill and Ramona, and then Alex McCord doing the design for Bethany's logo for Skinny Girl. It's good. It's not the best thing ever, but I think that the series kind of really hits its stride in the following season. So I'm going to give season 2 a B, which is okay, whatever that means. So a B. Next, moving on to season 3. Season 3 is, for me, the season that made, in the words of Las Culturistas, it made me realize Housewives were for me. This is a legendary season, top to bottom. The ladies showed up ready to work. We have the runway with Ramona's Bug Eyes. We have Alex McCord saying, and while you were in New York, I'm in Brooklyn working through a recession with the family, whatever she says. We also have Scary Island. We also have Bethany meeting Jason. We also have Alex McCord being the messenger, where she breaks out into hives to tell Jill that it's a wrap on her and Bethany's relationship. We also have the demise of Bethany and Jill's relationship. I think this is the first time we're actually getting a fight that has to do with the confines of the show. They're fighting about the fact that Bethany's getting a spinoff. They're fighting about who is more famous. That had not been done before on Housewives until season 3. For all these reasons and so many more, go rewatch season 3 if you're looking for a rewatch at some point. It's fantastic. So I'm going to put season 3. This is our first one on the S tier, the God tier, the I'm physically shaking tier. So welcome, season 3, ladies. You did it. I believe this is also our first 3-part reunion, was season 3. Wild reunion. Jill is really trying to grasp on relevancy at this reunion. Moving on to season 4. Season 4 had the introduction of Cindy Barshop and her 2 kids, her twins that she had, I believe, on her own. There was some like crazy, interesting inner workings of that relationship. I can't quite remember. Also, Cindy brought a whole slew of negativity to the scene. I liked her in the beginning, and then she just kind of fell in with the wrong group. You know, she became a part of the Kelly Ben Simone and Luann. This was Luann's insufferable era. Luann's insufferability kind of goes up and down. In the beginning, she was insufferable in a funny way. Season 4, Luann becomes insufferable in a really scary way, and I can't co-sign her behavior in the season. We also get the trip to Morocco. That's a high point here. And we also get Luann saying, you walked in your Herman Munster shoes. And then also saying, well, darling, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. So there are moments here where this season really loses me is the reunion. They fight and scream at each other for approximately 4 hours straight. And Andy Cohen, I remember this was the first time I saw Andy hosting a reunion, and I was like, oh, this feels like work for him. He's not having fun. He's over these women. I just knew that a shakeup was on our heels when the season was airing, but I didn't know shakeups could happen until the next season. So season 4, I give it a solid C, which once again, that is the not a white refrigerator tier. It's not the worst, but it's not great. Not great. I wouldn't rewatch it. I would just rewatch the trips. Okay, moving on. Next, we have season 5. Now, y'all, I am a season 5 apologist. I think this is one of our greater Housewives seasons. This was the first time we ever had a cast shakeup. We got rid of Jill, Alex McCord, Cindy Barshop, and Kelly Ben Simone. And they demoted Luann to friend of. So the cast initially was supposed to just be 5, which was Sonia and Ramona, with 3 newbies. We have Aviva, Carol, and Heather. Now, Luann caused so much bullshit this whole season that mid-season, she gets bumped up to full-time housewife. Now, for Real Housewives people, if you go and watch the intros for this season, Luann is not in them until eventually they just they give her a tagline and they just throw her in, and they're just like, okay, just join the group, because at this point you're bringing us enough storyline to keep this ship afloat. The new additions, I think Carol, Aviva, and Heather were really inspired new additions. I think Heather, as time goes on, she's not aged great. She's very much like boss bitch feminism, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's like she just loves kind of some appropriation. She loves using black language as her own. Holla. Yeah, she's also worked with Diddy a lot, which I think we don't have that conversation enough. And maybe she's spoken out about it. I haven't done my research, but Aviva has one leg, and of course, any sort of differences, whether that be ethnicity, physical abilities, Ramona is going to be the worst person to be on a cast with if you have that. So she makes her life a living hell, and it is wild to watch. Also, Aviva brings on a interesting husband, Reed. Now, Reed is Fran Drescher's nephew, I believe. Is that correct? She's related to Fran Drescher, but I can't remember the exact lineage. And then Carol, is a princess, giving Luann a run for her money as the countess, a princess versus the countess, and they butt heads about that. It's just a fun group of girls. It's a great dynamic. It's something fresh. It felt a little more New York because those 3 women, none of them lived on the Upper East Side. They were all interspersed throughout the city. It felt like we've left the Upper East Side and kind of found a cooler New York. And we get, I think, probably top 3 best trips of all time. We get our trip to St. Bart's, where we have the pirate. We have, what do I need to put on my forehead? Thank you, Reed. We have Aviva just pissed the whole time about everything because she had to fly on the flight. And yeah, and then we have drunken antics. We have Aviva calling Sonia and Ramona, white trash, quite frankly. And then they have to look up what white trash is. It's just chef's kiss. And they did return to this house for an Ultimate Girls Trip, which was kind of meh. That is not on here. I didn't put Ultimate Girls Trip on here because it's not really, to me, it's not canon. To me, it's like the Sex and the City movies. It's like, or rather, it's more like, and just like that. Like that Ultimate Girls Trip is not part of the canon to me. So I am putting this fantastic season of Real Houses of New York at an A level, which is our Wow Bethany Wow tier. So once again, to recap where we're at so far, we're 5 seasons in. Season 1, okay, whatever that means. Season 2, okay, whatever that means. Season 3, I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking. Season 4, not a white refrigerator. And season 5, Wow Bethany Wow. Once again, this is better for probably in a visual medium. So please, if you're just listening to this, go check out the YouTube channel or Spotify. Next, moving on to season 6. Season 6, we keep the same girls and then we add in Kristen Takeman. Now, Kristen Takeman was an interesting addition. I actually have met Kristen Takeman quite a few times. Her and I met Josh as well. They're both very nice. And I think she might have just been a little too nice and normal for the show, but she does last 2 seasons, one of which being season 6. Season 6, we lost some things. I think we lost our way with this group of girls. Aviva loses her mind. She kind of becomes a real housewife with a capital R, a capital H. And so she stops being her kooky, authentic self and becomes like the elevated version of herself. They go to this really, really bad trip to Montana, and Aviva throws her leg on the season finale. And we also have, there was something else that goes down in this. Oh, this is where Ramona throws the glass at Kristen Takeman, and where Ramona, I will say, I do love the scene of Ramona at Heather's air-conditioned house in the Berkshires, standing in the forest going, oh my God, this tree and that rock look exactly like the tree and rock that I grew up next to. I have to get out of here and go back to the Hamptons. It's honestly so hilarious. And Carol is with her, like, you must be kidding me. And she gets helicoptered out of the Berkshires. So that's a high point, a low point, but also a high point. I'm going to put season 6 of Real Houses of New York at a C. That is not a white refrigerator. Some moments, but it doesn't really stand the test of time, I think. Now, moving on to season 7 of The Real Houses of New York. Now, season 7 is the return of Bethany Frankel. Now, Bethany has strayed. She's strayed from the light. She's no longer in our S tier of our physically shaking tier of housewives, but her legacy does live on. Her re-entry back into the franchise after a failed attempt at a talk show, her return to the housewives really, it brought something. She came in guns a-blazing. She's really made for reality television, and she elevates this cast to just like God tier. And on top of that, we get the introduction of Dorinda. They brought Bethany back, added Dorinda, got rid of Aviva. It's a cast of 8 dynamic women. I even think Kristen Takeman brings things to this season. Like, this season to me is slept on because the seasons after it are fantastic. We get a fantastic trip to somewhere, I believe, in the Caribbean. We get the don't be all uncool. We get our first trip to the Berkshires. We get Heather and Bethany having a know-it-all off. It's a great season. It's a great vacation. If you're looking to rewatch housewife trips, which I'm known to do, this is one to watch because I think people sleep on it. So I'm going to put season 7 of The Real Housewives of New York at I'm going to give it an A. Wow, Bethany, wow. So our 2 Wow Bethany Wows as of now, we have season 5 and season 7 are both Wow Bethany Wows for me. So up next, we have season 8. Now, we're hitting kind of a stretch here of impeccable television. A stretch that really cannot be compared to anything else in the pantheon of housewives. I think these next couple seasons are kind of put the blueprint of what modern day housewives is. Season 8 is our season where Luann gets engaged, a season where she also finds out that Tom cheated on her at the Regency. It's also a season where we have everyone trying to take down John. It's a season where we get Ramona's infamous now meme where she goes, "Thank God." We get a crazy moment at the Berkshires with Jules Weinstein, our new housewife, who her and Luann have a moment chain smoking on the porch where she says that her father is passing, and Luann says, "Darling, these women, they just call me sluts." We get our first Dorinda. I tried to make it nice. We get really fantastic moments top to bottom. The trip to Miami, the engagement party on the yacht. Y'all, this season is something to be studied. And so for all of those reasons, I am going to give it a S ranking, a God tier ranking, and that is our I'm shaking, I'm physically shaking. So moving on to season number 9. Season 9, the cast stays the same minus Kristen Takeman, which, by the way, we didn't talk about with Kristen Takeman. In season 8 is when she has her, where she launches her nail color, which is called POC. Pop of color, not person of color. Yeah. Season season 9 cast stays the same. We take out Jules, one season wonder, and we bring in the wonderful, the beautiful Tinsley Mortimer. Now, this season is where we get Tinsley moving into the townhouse with Sonia, which creates a whole thing with the two of them where it's like upstairs, downstairs, essentially. Like Sonia treats Tinsley like she's the hired help with her interns to help her do things around the house. And Tinsley's like, "I was a socialite." This is also the season where we have Sonia creating a cheater brand to Skinny Girl called Tipsy Girl, and Bethany makes her cry. This is also a season where Dorinda tries to oust Sonia from the group because she's talking to the bloggers too much. She doesn't get invited to the Berkshires this year. And on top of all this, I believe this season 9 is where we get clamp, you fool. So yeah, it's a banger. And how could we forget? We wrap up on a trip to Tequila, Mexico, which I think in general is probably looked at as the greatest trip on all of Housewives, to Tequila, Mexico. It's fantastic. I think it's so fun when you get a stint of Housewife seasons where the cast stays the same and they continue to bring like high level drama. Potomac had that for a while, from like season 2 to season like 7 or 6, those 4 or 5 seasons. They slowly added people in, but like it really was just the core group of women operating on all levels. Salt Lake City, we're living in that. I believe after Monica's exit, after Jen's exit. So Monica's season and then the last 2 seasons. So season 4, 5, 6 have just been unbelievable because we're letting the group sit and we're letting their dynamics like slowly shift and change. And I just think it brings a really amazing television. So I am going to rank season 9 of The Real Housewives of New York. Also on I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking. Okay, that is God tier level. It's one of the best seasons to ever do it. Up next, we have season 10. Now, season 10 is another crazy season. This is where Luann gets arrested. This is where Luann comes back from prison. This is where the women go to Colombia. This is where they get in almost a shipwreck. This is where they all shit their pants. This is where Bethany and Carol's friendship goes up in flames. Guys, isn't it crazy when you think about how much shit goes down in these seasons? And then we have seasons like Real Houses of New York season 15, we'll get there, where they're fighting over the same shit over and over again or the most minuscule things. It's like there were so many storylines. We get the Luann going, she's starting about Dorinda. It's just this I think was our peak. Season 10, I believe, is our peak. We go season 7, 8. We had 3 up here, and then we had to find our way. And then we get 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 also, I'm going to have to put on the God tier level so that I'm physically shaking tier. So on our God tier right now, we have season 3, season 7, season 3, season 8, season 9, and season 10. So next, we have season 11. Now, season 11 had some behind the scenes drama with it, which was that Bethany waited to sign her contract until the very last second, and they were not sure casting wise if they had a group of girls. Something about this season, it feels like, when you're at the peak of your like tipsy drunk night with the girls, and then you stay for that one extra drink, and then shit goes off the rails, and you're like, I should never have stayed for that drink. I should have never had that last glass of wine. I should have never had that last tequila soda. Like, you're like, I should have gone home. Or like on vacation where you add that one extra day thinking it would be a day to chill with your friends, and then you're like, I gotta get out of here. Season 11 is a little bit of a I gotta get out of here, because the women are starting to run out of things to fight about. However, we still get crazy moments. This is where we get the Morgan letters. This is where Luann is a cabaret star. They go to Miami for vacay, and Sonia face plants on the table. Actually, Morgan letters. No more. This is the Morgan letters season. This is also famously where the trailer for the season had this big blowout between Dorinda and Tinsley, and they cut it from the show. We will never know, because they had some off-camera issues, Tinsley and Dorinda. This, though, really famously is when they go to Miami for their trip, and Luann is standing outside of the theater where her cabaret marquee is, and she's just like. And this is also where Bethany says, "Life's not a cabaret." The season is good. It's really great when you really think about it in the confines of all of the Housewives seasons outside of New York. I think I'm being a little generous here, but I'm going to give them a solid A on this. A wow, Bethany, wow. Because there are some wow moments. And in the end, I would take this season over anything that we have coming up next. Ding, ding. Okay. Moving on. Next, we have season number 12. Guys, I want you to know something, by the way. I have the graph up of where everything's ranked. I don't have notes. I know this much about what happens in these seasons, and I think I need to be studied. That's just something to know. Season 12 of The Real Houses of New York. This season was filmed during COVID. Or no, it was filmed right before COVID. No, sorry. It was filmed right before COVID. They announced it. They announced the new wife, Leah McSweeney, at BravoCon at the end of 2019. It aired during COVID. Now, this cast was Tinsley, Dorinda, Luann, Ramona, Sonia, and then Leah. Bethany left. Another contract thing, she was supposed to be in this season, and I believe didn't sign her contract like the day before filming started. They all thought she was in, and she was out. So they got kind of fucked here with what they were going to do. I think they probably would have added another wife if they knew that was the case. Leah's first season is interesting. She had potential. The only thing that was kind of crazy was her choice to start drinking again. She was a sober woman and then decided to get off the wagon and dive into rosé with this group of girls, which does kind of go off the rocker. This season has some moments that are better than I remembered. I watched the Berkshires trip on this season back, and Leah is kind of actually fun in this group of girls in a way. I think she has a great rapport with Dorinda. They're kind of butt heads, but they're fun. Luann enjoys her, like, how much Leah is like hot and wants to just like fuck. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Wants to bone. Ramona and Leah they don't make sense as a pair. And this, I think, is where we start to lose Ramona cognitively when it comes to the women on her cast. We lose it. So season 12, I'm going to give this a C. Not a lot of moments in this one. And the reunion got really dark with Dorinda and Tinsley, and Dorinda and Ramona. She was coming for people's fertility stuff. It just darkness, darkness, darkness. A reminder, our sea level is not a white refrigerator. So season 12, not a white refrigerator. Although it is all quite literally all white refrigerators. Which brings me to season 13. Now, season 13 filmed during the pandemic. And in response to, the Black Lives Matter movement and a push for diversity in all places, Bravo made the decision to bring some diversity into the Real Houses of New York. And so they brought on Ebony K. Williams as a series regular, full-time housewife, and they brought on Rashawn as a friend of. Now, these two Black women entered on the scene, and I don't think a lot of these white women had ever spent this much time around a person of color. And it went poorly. Across the board this season, I believe this is the first season we covered on the podcast when I just started the podcast, and I don't know that I want to hear my thoughts on this season. I maybe go back and listen and tell me. It's still up there somewhere. It's bad. It's really bad. It's a season that the Black Shabbat episodes, I think about those in nightmare states. Like, I think to myself, like, that happened. That's on TV. That's on a streaming platform that you could go back and watch. Unless they scrubbed it. They could have, actually. Because it is one of the darkest episodes of television. And I cannot condone anyone to watch this season. I can't. It's just really, really bad. And for that, I'm going to give it... This is our first D, a.k.a. They're booing you, boo.
They are booing you. They're booing you, boo. They're booing you. Listen to the people. Listen to the people. You better choose somebody else.
Because, baby, I am booing this whole season. Shout out to Ebony and Brashawn, though. I thought that they both had a lot of promise as housewives, just not with this group of girls, unfortunately, because this group of girls is racist. Yeah, not great. So let's move on, though, to season 14 and 15. So season 14 and 15. I'll rank them separately, but it's worth talking about them as a unit because this was the reboot. They took off 2 years from the Real Houses of New York, and season 14, I think, came in 2024. Season 15 came in 2025. Season 14, so we have a new group of girls. We have Bryn, Erin, Sai, Uba, Jenna, and Jessel. These ladies all have a lot going for them. I think they all have a lot going for them as Real Housewives in general. If they were on a cast with some people who knew how to do reality TV. I just don't think this season had anything. Like, nothing happened. There's no fight. There's no lulls. There's beautiful women with beautiful clothes. It's not even the argument of like, it's not that it's not my Rhony. It's not that argument. A lot of people like to be like, my Rhony is the drunken white ladies doing all this. Well, it's like that doesn't matter to me. I just want it to feel like an authentic group of friends that are fighting, whether the fights are problematic or trivial. I just want the fights to feel real. And these women couldn't seem to fight about anything in this first season. So I'm going to give season 14 of Real Houses of New York also they're booing you, boo. I wanted to root for them, but maybe I just ended up booing them. It didn't work. And then lastly, we have season 15. Now, season 15, we kept the same group of girls. We brought on 2 new ones. We brought on Raquel as a full-time. Raquel, to me, is a star, and I think she's not a part of season 16 that's coming up. And that makes me sad because I really like her. I thought she could have been great. I thought she could have been great on a OG season. I think she's a star. And has a lot of story to bring to the table. She's wonderful. And then we had the terrible Rebecca Minkoff as a friend of, who brought absolutely nothing to the table. And this season, I'm not a defender of this season, but I do think this season brought more to the table in terms of content. I thought Sai and Jessel and Erin really stepped up their housewife game, which is, I think, why they've solidified themselves as a part of the next season of the show. I think they bring I think the three of them and Raquel really bring something to the table. But unfortunately, the Uba and Bryn of it all got so incredibly dark. Jenna is fine. I don't really care about Jenna that much. I think she would be a blast to go hang out with, but she just doesn't do it for me. But the Bryn and Uba stuff got way too dark for me. I do think this has more potential, though, and more rewatchability outside of the ending fight than season 14 has. So I have season 15 at a C, which, once again, a reminder that is not a white refrigerator. But that's it. So we've ranked them all. Let's go over all the rankings again, just so you have a recap of where we're at. Season 1 and season 2 both were okay, whatever that means. Fine. Season 3, God tier. That is I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking. Season 4, we dropped down to a C ranking, which is not a white refrigerator. And then after that, season 5 is almost God tier, a little below it. Wow, Bethany. Wow. Season 6, we have that on also not a white refrigerator. Season 7, we have that on a wow, Bethany. Wow. Season 8, God tier. I'm shaking, physically shaking, as is season 9 and 10. Bangers back to back to back. Season 11 is an A, but just below that God tier, another wow, Bethany. Wow. Season 12, we drop down to not a white refrigerator. Season 13, they're booing you, boo. And then season 14, they're booing you, boo. And then season 15, just a little bit above that. And that is another not a white refrigerator. So the graph here, if you were to visualize it, it essentially kind of goes like this. It peaks and then it plummets. Honestly, though, as most shows do, rarely is a show peaking in its 20th season. I'm curious to see what they do with the season 16 cast. I will always watch Real Houses of New York in whatever iteration it is. It's the one that means the most to me, probably at its core, at New York and Atlanta, because those are the ones that I watched weekly as a kid. So this one will always hold a place in my heart. I pray they can find a little bit of a better footing for season 16, but if they don't, we can always return to season 8, 9, and 10. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you're on the YouTube channel, once again, thank you for subscribing. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? I'm making so much content over here. Please check it out. I would love to see you on the channel. Make sure to also subscribe to the podcast on Spotify as well as on Apple. I am going to leave now. Let me know what you would like me to rank next. I can also go non-housewives. I'm going to do an America's Next Top Model cycle ranking. That one is going to be extra long because there is like 24. Unfortunately, I do know all the winners of every cycle. But I'm loving this ranking thing. I just love ranking things. It's gay sports. It's like the Oscars for gays with reality TV rankings. So I love doing it. Let me know what you think. Rate me 5 stars, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Listen to the people.